right, so welcome to this week's Unikernel Application Spotlight. This week we're taking a look at Anubis. Anubis is basically a response to some of the AI agent scraping that has been going on. People like Drew from Source Hut have been complaining loudly about it. Um, and so this is kind of like a WAF, web application firewall, but it's slightly different because it's designed to allow quote harmless activity from stuff like AI agents. So simple bots or simple scripts or whatever are okay, but stuff that's all AI agent based is not okay. Um, and the way it works is just using this challenge response stuff that relies on JavaScript, and uh, and so that apparently prevents a lot of AI agents from actually doing their thing. Um, and I saw this a few months ago, but I didn't really dive into it yet until I saw um, saw this because I think I saw it on like Lobsters or wherever. But then Gnome is using it, and then coincidentally, I just saw that git.kernel.org is actually using it. So that's what made me kind of dive a little bit deeper into it to see what's going on. And obviously, the point of the video is we stuffed it into a unikernel. Um, and so the idea here is to have this sit between your front end load balancer and then like a back end web server. So before we pop that up, I want to show you this. This is my quote back end web server. It's just a little web server, listens on 8080 and Go. So pretty basic, right? So we pop that open. Then we go ahead and run Anubis. As you can see, there's these like rules here for headless Chrome and Light Panda and stuff like that. We actually did a video on Light Panda just, I don't know, a month or two ago to run as Unikernel. And then let me show you what it's supposed to do, both the bad and the good. So first, let's kind of hit this 8923. So it ran really fast, right? But essentially what it's supposed to do is do the proofer work and then forward you on if you pass. In this case, it worked. Now, if we do this, and I purposely chose this Mozilla Mozilla user agent to demonstrate, some of the rules that it passes through, just to show you what it is supposed to look like when it fails. And basically, this is saying that, hey, you're a bot, go away. So yeah, there's that. But if you just like remove this header, for instance, you can kind of see that it passes. And so that's what makes this very, very different from normal WAFs is that it's not really designed to protect from like all the other types of abuse out there. It feels like it's designed solely for AI agent abuse, which makes it interesting. And then this, I don't know if I've like configured it correctly or not, but this is example using GoRod. So GoRod is kind of like Puppeteer, but for Go. It talks to Chrome over the not Chrome DevTools or whatever it is, but there's a protocol that Chrome opens up to where you can basically talk to it over a local port and direct it to do stuff. And this literally spins up a Chrome browser. So we go ahead and run this, and it forwards us on. So yeah, this might be a config issue. I don't know. I haven't dived too deeply into it yet. But yeah, this is an interesting little tool, and I think this is one of the things that's actually kind of like a really difficult task in my opinion, because I've been on both the offensive and the defensive side of this before, and there's just 1,000 different ways you can skin the cat. I haven't looked at using V8 Go, but I would imagine this is something that might be worth looking at too. Because like you could use your normal net HTTP and then use V8 Go if you need JavaScript. You don't have to spin up a headless browser. Similarly, I haven't really looked at GoRec. This does TLS and browser impersonation, and so this is actually quite good. GoRec, this routinely gets around Cloudflare protected websites and so forth. So that'd be another thing to look at. So to dive a little bit deeper on this, like the way that works, TLS fingerprinting basically looks at the version and the type of TLS software you're using. It could be like bare SSL, it could be OpenSSL, it could be something else, and each of them and there's like different versions. Or is it 1.3? Is it 2.1? Is it whatever? And then the same thing with browser fingerprinting. It's not just like the headers that you look at, but it's also the build. Like literally, the build information usually distinguishes the traffic that you get. And so there's like a whole database of these build IDs that you can look at. This is actually a really complex problem for both defensive and offensive sides. But I just find it interesting that get.kernel.org and so forth is already using this, and I don't know how old this is. I think it's only a couple months or something like that. But this is running Anubis as a nanos unikernel. So till next time.